Hmm. Okay, people. So I'm minding my business, right? But I get a message from AJ Foreman, right? And hey, I have to say, every time she hits me up, it's always good. You know what I mean? It's always good. I get an opportunity to speak to some incredible people, right? That's how I got to the Cuban singing one, um, that documentary, Clairvoyant, you know what I mean? American Badger, had some fantastic opportunities. So obviously I will always jump at it, right? So yeah, she's like, got this film coming out this week. So I was like, all right, I will check that out. Okay. Um, it was a horror, which, I'm always a bit like, oh, can I watch that? That one seems like it could happen. And found footage stuff, especially, is a little inconcerting. A little inconcerting. No, that's not the right word. Hmm. Um, you know what I mean, right? It's a little close to home. So yeah, but again, it's AJ Foreman. So I watched it. The film in question, people, is Curse of Aurora. I feel that's how I'm pronouncing it right. Curse of Aurora. And this is the second feature from Mehran C. Oh, how do you pronounce his name? Trugly? Hmm. Oh no, sorry. Torgoley. Yes, Mehran C. Torgoley. His second feature. He co-wrote it with one of the stars, Llana Barron. Um, I mean, they both have a number of different hats on. So it is produced by Barron, um, Minna Brighton, and Kevin Pardue. Executive produced by Matt uh, Sham Shambari. Yeah, Matt Shambari, uh, Benavido Koyedin, um, and sorry, Torgli as well produces. Torgli also edits the film. Uh, Baron and Mark Richards take care of the sound, um, all the sound design and everything like that. Right? The special effects are from Daniel Lamb, Martin Muner, and Pierre Skollenberger. Uh, Torgli handles the visual effects. Baron, Jordan Kaplan, and Alex Wilson handle the camera and electrical stuff. And Hilary Barry is also helping out. Now, our stars of the film. Well, as mentioned, we have Llana Barron, who plays Lena. We have Lex Wilson, who plays Aaron. And we have Jordan Kaplan, who plays Kevin. We also have a friend of Lena, Chantel, who's played by Agatha Salazman. And there is a clairvoyant who's played by Roxanne Desilets, and she's called Blanche. And the film is kind of bookended by Casey Nolan, right? And it's a real Casey Nolan is a real person, right? Which I didn't know. I did not know until I gave this a go, right? So, what is the film about? Well, as mentioned, right? It's found footage. So, a dark web thumb drive reveals footage of three American filmmakers in rural Quebec researching a historic child murder case. After witnessing several disturbing paranormal occurrences, they attempt to communicate with the spirit of the child. Yeah, not not the wisest thing to do, right? It's not something I would be like, yeah, people, go ahead, let's do that. It's like in the horror when everyone's just like don't run up the stairs. What are you doing? You know, and the people are like, I gotta hide in a place with no no other exit. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my days. So yeah, as I said, look, Casey Nolan bookends it with his actual YouTube show, Mind Seed TV. So he's on the show and he's talking about um the things they do. And he's just like, yo, I used to buy stuff off the dark web, which I kind of feel isn't necessarily something you want to be admitting to. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be like, hey, people, I'm always on the dark web. Yeah, it seems a bit like a little dicey, but he's just like, look, we often buy these boxes, these mystery boxes, and we open them up, but they are disturbing. And the way he's like, oh yeah, and sometimes I have to hand the stuff over to the police and be like, yeah, no shit, right? No shit. If it looks so suspicious, of course you would. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he's just like, in this one box, I found these things. Right. And so there's these items, and one of the items is this pen drive. And he's just like, yeah, so you know, I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do because anything could be on this. So luckily, I got a burner laptop, and you're just like, wait, what? No, so you bought another laptop. And essentially, a burner. That's what you did. You bought a cheap laptop. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so he plugs the thing in, and that's how we were brought into the film, which I will say that is a pretty decent way to jump into this. You know what I mean? They did it right. So we then see two guys in an airport, and we also see some items that were in the box, so you straight away understand what's going on, right? Because Casey has held certain things up, and he's just like, oh yeah, this was, oh yeah, I found this, and so when you get to this footage and then these people, you're like, hold on, that was in the box, that was in the box. You're like, oh, okay. So yes, they've arrived in Quebec, and so it's Kevin and Aaron. We're seeing Kevin, Aaron's holding the camera, and they meet their friend Lena, who she's injured herself. She's in a cast, right? And so basically we understand from this that yeah, these are friends. They've already shot one thing together. So later on, it does sound like they've worked together a good few times, right? They've been doing this for a long time. But from the initial, they've shot a film, and now they're working on another film while they're sorting out the distribution and all of that, right? So they're in Quebec because Lena's family own a cottage. So yeah, we see them basically just, navigating all of this, hanging out as friends, and all of that. And I will say, all of that, it is kind of captured well. It is believable, right? Because sometimes you watch these things and you don't really buy the friendships, you know what I'm saying? Or the hangs feel, they feel a little forced. And the hangs always felt honest and real, right? There now, I mean, I will say there are things that did make me wonder a little bit, but the hangs are cool. And I think they did capture um being stoned pretty well. Well, I mean, there's see the thing with being stoned is there's a lot of different interpretations of, right? There's people who have different experiences, but what we saw here, it didn't feel like the typical, you see someone puffing on a joint, and then it's just like, hey guys, I feel super hungry. And you're like, hey, come on, man. You know what I mean? Because yes, maybe some people, it's not everyone. You know what I mean? And then not always straight, or it's not like it's straight away, right? You might get to a point where you're like, yo, let's get some fucking food, man. But not after like one fucking hit. You're like, oh, I must eat now. So all of that was good. So you did feel kind of immersed in this film, right? So that was great. Now, all with them like hanging because they're trying to work out this film. They're trying to work out the next film and how they're gonna do it. But everything kind of happens. There's these things that fall into place, which leads them to thinking, actually, I think we have something here. I think we have a project. And yeah, it all of it works. All of it works. Now, the one thing that like there's so much crazy in here because they go to Quebec, right? And I feel everyone knows Canada has a French component to it, but there are certain cities where French is basically the main tongue. So if you're going there, you need some French, right? Or if you don't have French, at least some translation tools. And I think with the advent of phones and technology and all of that, that has got a lot easier. But these dumbos, they can't really spit. Like Alina's got some basic. I mean, it's not doesn't seem good, but yeah, they're not communicating, so they do come off as those brash Americans, right? And some other actions, right, kind of step into that stereotype. And it is a stereotype that is mentioned in the film, right? So there is that. Now, one thing that I'm watching this and I'm a bit like, it's some things that Kevin does. And it does make you, well, there's a couple of things. There's a thing with Kevin and a thing with Aaron. So let's get with the Kevin thing. It's one of those things that you kind of feel, right? If these are friends, you'd know that's his thing, right? And that would be one of those things. And you'd always have to have that talk. Be like, yo, we're going to this place. Don't do your shit, man, because it's keeps on getting us in trouble, and we need to be here, so you can't be doing your shit, right? Because it did make me wonder, because it's just like if they'd spent all this time together in California, right? You'd think you'd he'd have been doing that stuff now. It's not like it's one of those things that doesn't suddenly just happen, right? And if you know he does it, he's not going to be like, oh, I'm holding it back, I'm holding it, and then all of a sudden he's there and he'd be like, I'm doing it all the time now, right? So that was a little bit odd. That was a little bit odd. And Aaron, he just seemed to, really fly off the handle a lot, which again did seem a little out of character for what we'd been led to believe, right? About all of this. But that, I mean, they're just two kind of little niggles, right? Now, the film, like at the beginning, you're like, okay, this is fine. Actually, this is fine. I can watch this. But as these stories start to unravel, it starts to get creepier and creepier, right? Which is just like, ugh, okay. So you feel like, and especially it's the way it's being shot, you're feeling real uncomfortable. But as it goes on, more and more shit starts to happen, which really does amp up the the heebie-jeebies of this motherfucking film, right? I will say, I did think they did all of that really well. Did it really well, because you can see that this is, it's not a high budget film, but they made you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. And it was all from just a few little things, a few little effects. Yeah, that boy, yeah, that takes skill. That does take skill. You know what I mean? To be able to do that. It's at the end. Jeez. Yeah, this got fucked up real fucking. Oof. Yeah, it was just like, oh fuck. I don't know if I'd go to Quebec, man. Or I don't know if I'd go to rural Quebec. That's one thing for sure. Feel me? Because you're just like, yo, if you'd heard about this thing, right? So, as mentioned in the synopsis, it's about a little girl that got murdered, right? Murdered by her parents. It's a real gruesome story, which does seem to be actually true. This was a real girl. It's a real thing that happened, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's one thing that is said in the film, right? We don't like people that mock events, real events that have happened here. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. And you're like, no, man. I don't know. You're making a film and you're trying to change some of the way this happens. So it's a bit like, yeah, you are. But yeah, it's a lot of it's all about the small little touches, because being shot with the video camera, they're always filming, and so the film is a little bit jumpy. And the sound quality goes in and out in places, so it does that in itself helps kind of bring the tension and whew, the chills in places, right? Which is smart, right? That's smart. So then the events that are happening, and sometimes it's just like, yo, I think we just saw, and you'd be like, wait, what? And you're kind of like, oh, do I want to look close to see if something's there, or am I just gonna take their word for it? I don't know. Do I want to know? And so yeah, you do. It makes you feel mad uncomfortable, really does. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I ain't going to those houses. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? Right? And everything that went down last year, right? And everyone's talking about white privilege. I think this is the biggest example, because I ain't playing with my life, son. It's only a crazy white person gonna be like, hey, let me look into this really creepy, awful thing that happened. Let me cool on spirit. Really, like, yo, what are you doing? Real life is fucked up enough. We don't need to be doing that shit, son. And yeah. So, hey, I will say, on a like, on a small budget, they have really done something here. They have really put together a feature that is creepy. It is creepy, and it's a little different. It's a little different from some of the other kind of found footage films that you've seen. But it's enjoyable, like Superhost, right? Superhost is essentially another kind of I mean, I don't know. Would we call Superhost super found footage? It's kind of is, right? And that was a different approach to that genre. So I mean, it's really uplifting to see people try different things and do these different approaches to these crazy ass events and shit people be doing. So hey, I did like it. I did like it. I trust me, I ain't ever watching it again. I ain't ever watching it again or doing anything as insanely stupid as these people. But I feel, as a people that are a fan of this stuff, I think you will enjoy Curse of Aurora. And I will say, like, as mentioned, if you enjoyed Shudder's Superhost, which we talked about a couple of weeks back, you know what I mean? I think you will like this. I obviously, people will kind of talk about Blair Witch Project and all of that, but yeah, I definitely feel that this is good, man. It doesn't disappoint, right? It doesn't make you go, ugh, that's just rubbish. I don't believe it. Like, as the the special effects, especially the shit that happens later in the film, ooh, super sketch, but that looked good. Looked good. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it, but it looked really good. It really did. So I thought that was good. I thought that was decent. They made me it made me glad I watched this shit during the day. So yeah, if you're a fan, right, you like that stuff, the cleansing hour, another Shudder. I mean, I say Shudder, the Shudder stuff a lot because that is kind of, where you're gonna find a lot of this good horror stuff if you like that kind of thing. So yeah, if you do find this stuff enjoyable, right? Curse of Aurora, people, I think this will definitely be for you. I think you're going to get a kick out of it. Um, so go check it out. It is available from the 24th, Friday the 24th of September. So people, um, yeah, I do believe it's Friday, not Thursday. It may be the 23rd. but it's out. It's out this week. And hey, in the information of the episode, the actual proper date will be there. People, trust me. But yeah, I think it's Friday the 24th, or it might be Thursday the 23rd. But anyway, you know what I mean? Check the information, and we should be speaking with some of the people involved. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. But people, Curse of Aurora, go get your creepy horror